Hi everyone, Sandman here. This video is brought to you by a donation from two donors. I figured their subjects were so similar and that they wanted me to talk about cam girls and e-thots. So why do it in two separate videos? Especially with a topic that's already been beat off to death. No pun intended. The first donor is MGTOW Smurf, and here's what he has to say. Hi Sandman, if you've not done so previously, I would enjoy hearing your thoughts on cam thoughts, like the ones on platforms such as Chatterbait, Fans Only, Cam Soda, etc. It's obvious that real femininity is now rarely seen. Any minor child with computer access or a smartphone can click the I am 18 or older button and be instantly exposed to the perverse world around them. I do not see this female liberation trend reversing, but only getting worse. If anyone ever asks who hurt you, all you have to do is direct them to any of those disgusting websites and show them the multitudes of diverse women doing repellent things for a few dollars. Personally, everywhere I go now, I don't see innocent, delicate, desirable future young wives or mothers. I just see them as cam thoughts. Thank you for all you do, Sandman. Good health to you and all the other MGTOW brothers, and cheers. Well, MGTOW Smurf, thank you. The second donation is from T-Bin, and here's what he has to say. Hi, Sandman, I have a topic for you. What is the benefit of being friends with an e-girl or a thought? I befriended two e-girls over the years at cons, and we follow each other on Twitter, where I learned that they are thoughts. At first I thought this was going to be a gold digger scam on me, but I was wrong. Yes, they did try and get me to sub to their OnlyFans account, but I rejected it and said that we can still hang out and chat, which is more beneficial for me, because whenever we would chat and Skype each other, all their secrets are split. One of them even said that she worried about the lack of simps in the world that will give her money or how to avoid a prenuptial agreement. The second part of my story was when I was actually listening to a true story of a YouTuber talk about MGTOW and the cheating women in the world. I've come to the understanding of why men cheat versus why women cheat. What I found is that women are more likely to cheat and men have better reasons for cheating. Not even lesbian couples are safe from women's disloyalty. A woman goes to serve her country, she comes home to find her girlfriend, soon-to-be wife, in bed with a man. And all she, the cheater, could say is, I was lonely. Well, T-Bin, thanks for your donation as well. I'll discuss my latest thoughts, no pun intended, about the e-thoughts in a moment. But let me first tell everyone about today's sponsor, Body Transformation Made Simple. Drew Avery is the author. His book explains how to dramatically transform your body and get into the best shape of your life in only 90 days. It's easy to follow and virtually guarantees success. The book also chronicles a 90-day personal journey of Drew and how he went from looking like a fat Nicolas Cage,
how to get burned! How to get burned! How to get burned!
And eventually turned himself into a clone of Jean-Claude Van Damme, you fine boy. He even helped his father and other family members do the same. So what are you waiting for? Product link is in the description.
No!
Anyways, now back to the show. First I'll go through MGTOW Smurf and what he wants me to talk about e-thoughts, and then I'll cover T-Bin. Cam thoughts are obviously using technology to exploit sims from the comfort of home. OnlyFans, unlike Chatter, seems to make online whoring completely accessible, especially because you have to generally pay or sign up with more security than Chatterbait. Plus, with OnlyFans, the women on there present themselves as higher class. The photos are usually done professionally for the girls that you see on the main page. The only reason I haven't followed any of the girls yet is because it's asking me for credit card information to boot. What's to say that they don't sell your personal information to other companies and suddenly you have targeted adult content ads following you around the web, tracking you everywhere? At least with Chatterbait, you don't actually have to use your real identity. Plus, their business model is quite different. You have thousands of guys watching a single girl, yet only one or two of them pay her enough to make a living off of it. With OnlyFans, it's a combination of Twitter, Patreon, and the adult version of Instagram all rolled into one. The thing about OnlyFans is that it's actually making average women stripping for dollars and cents make sense, because it's becoming socially acceptable for women to get paid off their bodies. There's a simp apocalypse out there and guys are throwing thousands of dollars at women without getting anything tangible in return, except perhaps a thank you message that she copied and pasted from the last guy that sent her money. She just swapped out his name for yours. Smurf, of course, this trend is going to get worse. This is making stripping socially acceptable and no big deal. They're doing it for money and attention. There was a 24-year-old woman named Kristen Vaughn, a young mechanic at a Honda dealership that had an OnlyFans account. And her male coworkers found out about it and started harassing her at work, and watching OnlyFans at work, and in the end, she was the one that got fired, because she was becoming too big of a distraction. She even said this, and I quote, Your best friends and your worst enemies will all eventually find out that you've done porn, unquote. Not to mention her boyfriend or future husband one day as well. With women, sex, nudity, and attention are a catch-22 situation. Attention is like oxygen, but it's more difficult to stand out unless you take your clothes off or have a smoking hot body, especially when it comes to getting followers online to cream all over their screens when you, the woman, does a sexy pose with her tongue out pretending to scream. OnlyFans is the digital world's equivalent of a strip club. This is nothing new. Ask yourself the question, would you date or marry a stripper? Then ask yourself the same question, would you date or marry a girl that's active on a campsite or OnlyFans? As for what Teven has to say about being in the friend zone with an e-girl, I never thought about it before, but conventions are a great way for girls to get attention and build up their social media following while preying on weak incel simps with no girlfriends, but a lot of disposable cash. Think about it. If a guy's in a relationship, then he's already spending a lot of his cash while smashing a gash. But if a guy is ugly and no one wants him and some pretty girl dressed up as Wonder Woman gives him some attention, he'll probably hand her over his pension. Dressing up as a character is the perfect excuse for her thottery. She can say that she's just a fan while giving you her OnlyFans account name so you can check it out and give her only cash. She can string you along. Teven, I suspect that you were being strung along to give money eventually. Even after you told your so-called new friends that you wouldn't subscribe to their OnlyFans account, they still tried tugging on your nuts by saying that their existence was hard because of a lack of simps in the world, hoping you'd throw cash at them for them to flash their fish-flavored gash. But I guess they just settled for having you friend-zoned via Skype. You also said something contradictory. You thought these women were all about gold-digging scams, but you also said that you were mistaken. But later on you found out one of them was talking about how to void a prenuptial agreement. Doesn't that sound like a gold-digging scammer to you? If you still believe they aren't gold diggers, then you need to get your head examined. Your little one is working fine, messing up your big one, so it doesn't work right. Are you in a relationship right now so you're unaware of your simp-sounding words? Even though you weren't being exploited for cash by these e-thots that you met at this convention that put you in the friend zone, you were still paying them attention. They were still getting their narcissistic fix while you were pumping your wood under your desk. Speaking of that mechanic chick having her OnlyFans page, I don't think she thought she was going to get fired for doing it. I think she probably thought that the guys would think that she would be hot because she was different than all the other girls out there, because she could fix cars and also clean their cocks. She was the perfect female chameleon, or so she thought. I looked up one of her videos and she was fixing a Bentley. But why didn't she film herself fixing a Mazda Miata? Of course, it's all about status, and she's signaling to the world of men out there that if they drive a fancy luxury car that's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, then she's your girl. If she can take care of this car, then she can take care of yours too. So throw some money her way with the slim chance of getting laid. OnlyFans provides something that Chatterbait doesn't. The content stays up for the most part forever. On traditional campsites, you have to go back and wait for them to go live. It's like the ancient days of television when you needed a TV guide to tell you when something was going to be on. That's why OnlyFans is eating Chatterbait's lunch to some extent. Because who wants to wait around for live stream content in an on-demand world? I know that even I've paid for content from naughty content creators on Patreon before, but it was only $5 and I wanted to see how it works. But I didn't actually give them my credit card information to boot. I wouldn't trust them with that. The word simp has also now gone partially mainstream thanks in part to MGTOW and the manosphere. Women know what it means and women are preying on men like that. I've spoke before about the 5 things that men get from women, including sex, reproduction, child-rearing, validation, and companionship. Teven is getting validation and virtual companionship from these two e-thots. But what do women get from men? They get sex, reproduction, attention, including using you as an emotional tampon, resources, and child-rearing to some lesser extent. I guess that in the end you might say that men want female validation and companionship most of all, while women want resources and attention most of all. So if there is no sexual or financial exchange, then there's still the woman trading male validation to Teven in exchange for his attention. I guess that's a friend zone transaction that works out well for both parties. That's the benefit of being friends with an e-thot. Female validation and perhaps using her as a sounding board for your ideas, while she sits there yawning at you, trying to not look bored. But I don't see what more you're going to get from this sort of situation. She also used you as an emotional tampon for her irrational fear that all the simps would split and she wouldn't get any more cash. Of course they will split when she gets old and ugly, and they inevitably find someone younger and better looking to throw their money at. Instead of looking at their youth and beauty as a windfall and earning as much money as they can from it, How many of them actually keep what they've earned instead of spending all of it, or most of it, and then looking for some 30-something simp once they've passed their prime? We all know what's going to happen. Nature loads them with front-end beauty, but not wisdom. There's nothing wrong with intentionally putting yourself in the friend zone if you know what you're going to be getting out of it. I don't see anything wrong with it, especially if you interact mostly online, like you do, Steven. But to have a relationship with a woman like that, even if she's not marriage material, is asking for trouble, because of the amount of emotional baggage such a woman probably has. It's probably at least 10 times as much as the average woman, because women seem to be gifted or more likely cursed with the photographic memory when it comes to social interactions. The more of them they have, the more damage piles up. We men are lucky in that a lot of the time, our memory is like that of a goldfish. We forget everything bad a woman has done to us, and allows us to see life with new eyes over and over again. Maybe it's nature's way of ensuring that we continue to procreate by forgetting all of nature's lessons that we learned about women the very next day. Hence, guys keep coming back day after day for a daily dose of red pills. Think of this channel as an extension of the male goldfish mind. Sure, some guys might have a good memory, but think about how many times you've been called out in your life for forgetting an anniversary or birthday, and you'll know exactly what I mean. Anyways, that's it for today. Thanks again to Steven and the Smurf for the donation as well as similar topics. Don't forget to smash the like button the way that women are smashing fat stacks of cash during Corona by stripping in front of their computers. Bang the bell and check out the mystery link. Follow me on BitChute, Twitter, and Facebook to get tomorrow's video today. Subscribe to me on Minds, Gab, and MGTOW.tv to get the video for the day after tomorrow. This channel's been demonetized, so if you want to get back at corporate censors, demonetize them by taking away their ad dollars by installing the Brave browser. Link is down below. It also helps me out and you get cryptocurrency for viewing ads as well. You can also help me out through Subscribestar. Thanks for taking your daily dose of red pills, and remember, a red pill a day keeps the cam whores with a heart of gold away. So enjoy the rest of your day, and cheers. Now you can order and pay for dolls through 6 easy monthly payments so long as your credit is approved. Francesca is the favorite of many guys. How about Xena? She's certainly going to make your life full of wonder. You can also play patty cake with Jessica Rabbit if you prefer. Maybe this Tinkerbell will make you swell. Their futanari attachments also fit most dolls. If you have to ask about that, then it's not for you. What are you waiting for? It's time to trade shekels for some silicone jigglies. So lifelike you'll want to take all of them for a ride on your swing swang. Check out the YouTube channel as well as the website down below.